Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're all right. This is a bittersweet moment because this is the final video of our AS syllabus. Then let's get on with it, right? So, having conducted budget variance and having figured out which parts of our budgets were either above or below, and that way we would have determined where we had an adverse variance, where you ended up spending more than what you were thinking, or you didn't make enough revenue, or whether you had a favorable budget variance where you're spending less on your costs or were making more revenue. Either way, once you figured out which either one is, what does it mean? What sort of decisions that the business needs to take? What sort of analysis do they need to conduct? That's something that we need to know as well. So let's look at an adverse budget variance situation first. What does it mean? When we saw in our calculations budget ending up adverse, what that indicates to a business is that this is probably partly due to poor budget implementation, right? You did assign the cost, and in the end, the departments asked you for more money. So perhaps the right amount of budget was not assigned in the first place, and the planning process was not properly thought through. What you'll have to do then is take corrective measures in the next cycle, maybe find another source of finance or somehow find more money through more sales so that you're able to allocate a larger sum to this process. But remember that it will be a little less concerning if it's costing you more and you're still ending up with more output, because if you're making more output, eventually you'll sell it and that extra cost will be recovered, right? Of course, you will need marketing efforts, you may have to sell it at a discount, but some, if not all of the money will be recovered if as long as more output was created, if it would costed you more. So that's how finance departments look at an adverse budget variance. In terms of a favorable budget variance, when we look at it, the finance department determines that once again this is a process partly due to poor budgeting process. Now, maybe you assign too much money to certain departments and they didn't end up spending it. And any spare money that's just sitting in your business and not doing anything is not making you any richer. In fact, it's costing you. So, if you have spare money, use it. And when departments say underutilized in their budgets, that means that was money that was underutilized. What do? You take corrective measures in the next cycle and you reduce those budgets for those processes. And leftover budgets that you have in your company, if you take a positive spin on it, then you have some leftover for emergencies. And as a business, dynamic external environment, that can always take place. Now, to sum it all up, what does budget variance do for a business? Well, first thing it does is it helps you to correct your mistakes, and for the next time, for the next budget, you're able to allocate your resources more appropriately. Those departments that underspend will be given less money. Those who justifiably overspent will be given more money. And it also provides you a benchmark, something to compare your performance from the start of the year, the end of the year, see how good your planning was and see how good your execution was. And with these budget variances, each department is looked at closely, and the managers in those departments are then given responsibility, given directions, and all of that responsibility that is given should be more motivating for them. However, this sitting down, allocating, reassessing, rebudgeting could be a time-consuming process, but no business can run smoothly until and unless it has budget and it has the right idea of staying within those budgets. That, my friends, is budget variance.